Sarah, question for you.
Okay.
Decorate for Christmas before or after Thanksgiving?
Before Thanksgiving.
Before Thanksgiving.
What about you?
I'm a before Thanksgiving too.
Okay.
Second question. Decorate before or after Halloween?
Halloween, definitely after Halloween. But my kids are young. Two of them are still pretty young. And so Halloween's a big deal. They would be pretty upset if we kind of skipped over that. What about you?
Well, actually, I bring the tree out October 1st, around there.
Okay.
And I make a fall tree. Much to my husband Sean's chagrin, he's definitely a decorate after Thanksgiving, but because I do most of the decorating, I have to start.
Yeah.
So I make a fall tree. It's got little pumpkins and little scarecrows, and I have a give thanks on the top of the tree.
I love it.
So, yeah, we're talking about the holidays today, Sarah.
Yay, we love the holidays.
We love the holidays, and specifically how to hack your holidays and unplug the holiday machine.
This is great.
Yeah.
Good timing.
Social media, comparisons, finances, all that. Glad you're here.
I'm glad you're here too.
Thanks for joining us on This Might Be Triggering, a mental health podcast, because avoiding your problems is so last season.
Join us for honest talk, relatable stories, and real tools for emotional wellness and relationships. It's not therapy, but it is therapeutic, with insight, humor, and something useful in every episode.
You are a decorate after Halloween. I'm curious, Olivia, tell us about you, our Gen Zer. We've got 3 generations represented.
Is she Gen Z?
Are you Gen Z?
Is that right? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I get all the generations mixed up in my head.
it can happen.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm an older generation.
What are you?
I am 57, so whatever that is.
X?
Gen X.
Is there a Y in there?
Olivia, what about you? When do you guys decorate at your house?
After Thanksgiving. So
After
mainly just the month of December.
I'm impressed. I've got to start earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Do you help?
I do. I like decorating the tree.
You like decorating the tree?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. My neighbor that lives down the street is an influencer.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful house. And so like Halloween, everything in the front yard. And then the day after Halloween, all of the Christmas stuff, the Christmas garland, the wreaths, everything. And I just noticed that there is this curated holiday. So one thing I thought would be great to talk about today is the notion of social media and a curated holiday
Mm-hmm.
and how we can compare with the perfect things that we see and the stress that creates.
Anxiety
us.
too.
Anxiety, stress, and all of that. So looking at this curated holiday and a worldly holiday compared to a meaningful holiday. We just talked about this in my mom's group. Shout out to them. They're awesome. And we were talking about just how comparison and not only social media, but what other parents are doing with their kids, whether it's gifts or these holiday traditions that can be exhausting. So I thought, let's talk about that today. And then finances. Finances are a real thing. And the gift giving. And there were some interesting questions that came up that I can't wait to get your take on.
Oh,
So,
I'm excited to hear them.
yeah. So another question for y'all.
Okay.
Think back to your childhood. Won't be so far for you, Olivia. Think back, Sarah, to your childhood. What do you remember most? What's your favorite holiday memory?
I mean, really just the sweet time together as a family, looking at Christmas lights in the back of my dad's truck, decorating the house together. Just time together is my favorite memories. These little blips and moments of time together.
So looking at Christmas lights,
Yeah.
decorating.
Yeah. One memory that comes to mind too is I just swore I saw Santa's foot go up the chimney one morning. I was the kid that woke up at 3:00 in the morning to try and catch Santa.
Oh, I
And
love
I
that.
could have sworn I saw his foot go up the chimney. Maybe I did.
I love that. Maybe you did.
And that's a big memory. That was a big one for me.
That sounds so great. This is what my mom told me when I started asking about Santa. She said, well, if you don't believe in Santa, Santa can't come. So when I was getting a little bit older, my favorite one of the things that I really remember as a little girl, there wasn't open concept houses when I was growing up as a child. So we had a small dining room and formal sitting room or something.
Mhm.
We didn't go in there. The piano was in there, but that's where we put the tree every year. And I remember my mom would close the doors and she would set up this little village. Now, being an adult, I look back, it was a small, tiny little village. It was like 4 houses under the tree, but
Uh-huh.
she would put cotton. So it'd be snowing
Yeah.
and she would do these houses and run lights through it. And I remember as a little girl, the doors would be shut and that was just a really special thing. And after she would decorate, when I was a little girl, I didn't get to help, but I would go in and we'd look at all the things together and she'd ask me what was my favorite. And then when I got older, I would get to help her decorate it. But when I think about an earliest childhood memory about Christmas and what was important to me, it was that. And it certainly wasn't this perfectly curated thing that was on
No.
social media.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't it.
Gosh, what pressure that would be.
It's a lot of pressure.
So much pressure.
It really is.
Yeah.
And a lot of comparison. So I'm curious, Olivia, what about you?
I think when I look back on what Christmas was like when I was a kid, I mainly remember like it being very magical. Like my parents would go through very extensive measures to make sure that I believed in Santa. So I remember one year they like put presents on the roof to make it look like Santa like dropped his presents on the roof and there were like reindeer footprints. So
did y'all want to go up on the roof and like, is that my present? Or...
I looked on the roof and there was a scooter and I was like, oh my gosh.
A scooter was on the...
Stop.
How did
Your
So-
parents get the
don't-
MVP award.
Oh, you know what? We should
know.
say, if any parents are listening to this, newsflash, maybe don't listen to it with your kids in the car.
Oh, disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
You've got kids
Thank
with you.
you.
Well, that ship
Yeah.
may have sailed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember they would like leave trails of candy and like little presents to make it look like his present bag was like leaking. And so
Ew.
I was very convinced that Santa was real. I was shocked that other people didn't believe because I was like, there was a scooter on my roof.
Yeah.
So,
Do you remember how old you were?
well, when that happened, I was really young. I was probably like 6.
Love it.
But I think I don't remember what year I came to the realization that he wasn't real, but it was probably later than most. But I don't really.
Yeah.
I understand why.
I think I was in middle school.
Do you have a 2-story house or a 1-story
We had
house?
2-story.
Man, they put a scooter on a 2-story house.
They must have climbed out a window.
I don't know how they did it. I never got the inside scoop because
And-
I thought it was Santa.
I feel like it's time to get the inside scoop.
We
Maybe
might
ask
It's probably
so.
about.
And did you want a scooter or was that like, oh, you
Yeah,
did?
it was like a
Okay.
razor scooter.
Okay.
Like a-
What? All right.
Yeah.
I love that though.
So funny. So I told my boys, they're going to be mortified that I'm sharing this story, but I told my boys who are now 25 that the same thing when they started asking. I said, well, if you don't believe in Santa, Santa can't come. Which as an adult, when I tell Sean Santa gave me that present, he's like, okay. I'm like, if you don't believe in Santa, Santa can't come. So I believe in Santa. I might help Santa a little bit. Santa comes to my house. But Jake, same thing. He was like, Mom, you've got to tell me the truth. And he was a little bit older than his friends, right? Because they're all saying, dude, there's no Santa. And he didn't sell himself out, but he did come home that day. He's like, oh, okay, playing it cool. I don't know what grade, but he did come home and he goes, Mom, I need you to tell me the truth. Is there or is there not a Santa? And I said, well, if you don't believe in Santa, Santa can't come. And he goes, no, don't tell
Not
me
what
that.
I asked,
And I
Mom.
said, okay, I do not think there's a North Pole. I don't think there's a guy in a red suit, but I believe in Santa because I go out and help Santa and get myself what I want for Christmas. But it was pretty funny. So I love hearing that you had the similar thing. Now I don't feel quite so bad.
Yeah, I don't think they ever told me that Santa wasn't real. I just they started like making comments about like things they would put in my stocking. And I was like, wait, what do you mean you're going to put that in my stocking?
And they're like, oh,
Santa does
Olivia.
that.
Santa does
I
that.
was like, oh, okay.
So funny. Learning about the truth about Santa was traumatizing for me. It was an
Was
awful
it?
experience.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Do share.
Well, I had really believed, and I'm the youngest of four, and probably around, I don't know, maybe fifth grade, maybe fourth grade. Um, my older siblings were like, he's not real. He's not. And I was like, yes, he is. I saw his foot go up the chimney. I saw it. And then when my parents were like, no, there is no Santa, I was like, what else are you lying to me about?
Oh,
Is God not
oh.
real? And then it was a whole spiritual moment for me where I really didn't believe in God for a while. So it didn't really pan out well for me. I eventually came to terms with, my belief system but yeah, it was not great for me. I kind of took it to the left and kept going with it.
That is so interesting. And we weren't planning about talking about this today.
We weren't, no.
Well, I love that you brought it up because I'm sure our listeners are going through that. And I think one thing we tell parents, only answer the question the kids are asking
Mhm.
because that's what they can handle.
Yeah.
Right. So when they come asking whatever question they're asking about,
Yeah.
right, only answer the question that they're asking because that's what
Yeah.
they can handle at that time.
And in our house, it was a lot of, if Santa can see what you're doing, because I grew up in a Christian household, and God knows what you're doing, then they're best friends. And so that was kind of the message
Okay.
that was delivered to me. I don't know if in so many words, but that's what I took away. And so now with my kids, raising my kids, I make sure to completely disconnect the two from each other.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
Some people get upset who are Christians. I'm a Christian. I love celebrating Christmas, and I don't mind having Santa
No, yeah,
be
we
a part
do
of it
Santa.
as a celebration.
It's
And
an amazing tradition,
Yeah.
Christian or not. It's such a fun tradition.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I love that. So another question I want you to think about. Can you think of something you've seen on social media or maybe a friend's house? I know they have Christmas tours in different neighborhoods as a fundraiser. Have you ever been? I've been to one of those Christmas tours. There's a Casa Home tour during the holidays, and it's beautiful. And I know
Do you
these
actually go
people.
in the house, or is it just the neighborhood? You're looking at all the Christmas lights.
No, you actually go in the home. So people volunteer, and it's a fundraiser. I actually don't know if they still do it, but I went one year
Yeah.
because one of my friends' homes was on it, and I just was being supportive because you buy tickets. It's a fundraiser, and it is absolutely beautiful. It
Wow.
really is. And so they started early
I bet. Yeah.
decorating for something like that. And you see beautiful stuff on social media. And you know how I feel about social media. Social media is social media for a reason. A friend of mine calls Facebook brag book. Y'all probably have something similar for Instagram because it's, you're putting your best foot out there, your best photo out there. It's not the back of the tree. If you've only got the front version of the tree, what does the back of the tree look like?
Speaking of tree, I'm guilty of that. We had this tall, it's a very tall, but kind of skinny, but beautiful tree that we had for probably, I don't know, like 8 years, maybe longer. And the light, it's a pre-lit tree. And every year I posted a picture of it because it truly did bring me joy. And I just love Christmas so much. But over the last 2 years, the lights started to go out in different sections, and Ron would fix the lights, but then another section would go out. And you better believe the last 2 years, I did not post one picture of that tree.
What?
Because it was only half lit, but the real life, I wasn't about to go buy a tree in peak season to buy a tree, so I just left it half lit, but I didn't post a picture.
No. Yeah, because you're not going to put that on social media.
That's a true example of social media.
And no shade on social media, right? Do your thing, put it out there. It's beautiful. We actually did not do a perfect social media presence this morning for our recording.
We didn't.
We have Santa. This is about it.
Yay, Santa.
Don't fall Santa.
We're going to support Santa.
We support Santa. But we were both talking about it this morning. We were like, oh, we could have done so much. We could have had all this.
We had a Christmas tree here. I've got all this. I could have made a snowy village there. Oh, well.
So we are about the reality side of the holidays, which is getting it done and keeping your sanity. hacking this holiday machine of maybe the pressure for these social media moments, Instagrammable moments, the pressure of having this perfect curated holiday. And if you have that, more power to you. That's awesome and beautiful. And I love looking at those photos. What we're about today is not comparing yourself to those photos, not creating judgment for yourself for those photos, and maybe not even chasing that unless that's right for you. And what we can really do about that with social media. And then we're also going to talk about finances, which
I
is
think that
really
ties
big
in
thing.
beautifully too. Because
Yeah.
one is connected to the other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can spend a lot of money on the
Well, I mean,
holiday.
part of social media influencing is tap this link and then you can buy this decoration and then you buy it and then you're like, oh, well, my house still doesn't look like theirs. Oh, because they had 50 other decorations and I need to go buy those and, and the gifts. And yeah, they tie together nicely, these topics. So I'm so glad we're talking about this.
Me
I
too.
think the listeners are going to want to hear about this. I hope that something resonates with them and they're like, oh, I can relate. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, counselors, help me hear something I can do about it and why this matters.
Yeah, because it is hard to see and scroll through all those images and then think about what we can do about it. So there's two things I wanted to bring in that I think are really good hacks
Okay.
or ways to unplug.
Okay.
Number one, I want us to think of this holiday, and Olivia, I'm going to ask you too. That way we get 3 different opinions. Think about the holiday and think about a heart focus. So a holiday heart focus. And what I mean by that is I love to be a doer. I love to have all the family over, and with my family, we're really big and extended. We invite extended family. I think last year we had 45 people for dinner. And I love to have a beautiful table, and that lasts all of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then we play, actually, this is kind of a finance thing. We obviously can't do gifts for that many people, but we do a holiday gift exchange game. And we set a limit at $25, and you bring a wrapped gift. And then everybody that shows up that brought a gift, and it's totally okay if you don't bring a gift. So this is kind of getting into the finances part of this podcast.
Yeah.
Everybody who doesn't bring a gift, it's fine. You don't play. So you might pair up with your cousin and they're picking the gift and y'all are picking the gift together. You put all the gifts in a pile. You have a number for each gift. Everybody that brought a gift draws a number. We actually play it at our work holiday party.
We do.
And it's so fun.
It's a white elephant, right?
It's a white elephant, but it's a gift you want to get.
Yes. Not a gag.
Not a gag.
Version, a good one.
Right. And that allows people, you're not buying a gift for everybody.
Do y'all do themes? Like a date night is the theme, or dinner, or there's like some type of theme to kind of guide everyone, or is it loosey-goosey, nilly-willy?
It's loosey-goosey, nilly-willy. Last year we did something. We've tried to do it where if you're under 15, you get a gift. We tried to do that, and it really just got to be too big, and some kids were getting gifts and some kids weren't. So we included some fun kid gifts this past year, and then we kind of helped the kids pick one of those. Warning, do not let an adult steal a kid's gift. That went horribly wrong.
It's a set ground rule.
We have to set ground rules.
Yeah.
Do not steal a kid's gift that they really like. So we probably created some drama there for my sweet little great niece. But that really helped with finances. So that's one thing about finances. Back to the holiday heart focus.
Yeah.
For me, I get really busy during the holidays, and I like to host everybody. I like to host parties, and I get really busy doing. And one thing I want to do this year is really think about, what do I want my big takeaway to be? My focus. Obviously, for me as a Christian, the whole reason for the season, as they say, is really celebrating the birth of Jesus, which is very important to me in my faith, my religious beliefs. And I want to go to all the church things. And even that can get overwhelming.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And then I want to go to everyone's party. That can be overwhelming.
It can be. Your weekends can get piled high with stuff if you want to go to all the things.
Absolutely.
But then what are you missing out on?
Right. Right.
So what is your heart connection? What do you want your focus to be this season?
I'm still thinking about it.
Okay.
I want to hear what you and Olivia kind of what, and I want our listeners to think about, just take a minute and really think about, you can think of your own values.
Mm-hmm.
And we did this past week in the moms group, and everybody, they said the same thing we said. Nobody remembered a gift. They all remembered experiences. They all remembered doing something with their family. And we actually made these two lists, like things that we felt pressured to do and then things we really wanted to do.
Mm.
And being able to identify even how you could combine some of that. Like you might feel pressured to do something your child wants to do, like bake cookies, but you don't want to bake cookies, but because that's an experience for them, that's something that makes it on the list that you're going to do.
I think that's a great exercise listeners could do. Put things that you feel pressure to do, a list of things that you want to do. And then I think also you could add a third column, things I value.
Yes.
And then maybe you could pair that, figure out what makes sense, just like the cookies as an example. I don't really want to bake cookies with the kids because their hair is going to get in it. They're going to get eggshells, all the different reasons why. I mean, yeah.
Is it
Baking,
bad that I say
baking,
slice and bake?
no, no. But if you want to do homemade, it
Yeah.
is like, oh gosh, sometimes it's not so fun doing those things for some moms and some personality types. And that's just the reality. But what is your value? If something that you value is the time with your kid and experience and creating these memories and experiences with them, then maybe that's going to fall in the bucket of something to do. So I think I'm glad that you shared that y'all did that.
And I love that you're adding that extra column. And I know I don't want our listeners to be like, oh, this is just one more thing to do. I do think if we spend 5 or 10 minutes, even if you're just walking right now, listening to this and thinking about, okay, I like what you said. The third column is values. What do I feel pressured to do? What really creates presence for me with my family or my spouse? And then what are my values?
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to ask you and Olivia that. And, another thing, Sarah, that I think is important to mention is when we're looking at social media, not everybody's going through the same thing. And there are people right now during the holiday season that might be grieving
Yeah. Yeah.
or might have lost their job.
Life is not stopping for the holidays.
No.
The same things that can happen all the other 11 months out of the year, 10 months, depending on whenever your holiday starts for you. All those things can still happen in November and December. But I think because it is such a milestone period, it can be heavier because there's pressure in other areas to be present to these holiday things and present for family events and things like that. And grief is can be really hard if you lost a loved one. This is your first Christmas without them. Going through a divorce or a separation, this is your first holiday without, your significant other. I mean, the list can go on, right? And the different examples that you can
Losing a
apply.
job,
Losing a child. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
illness.
Illness. Yeah. A diagnosis came around this time last year, or this is the first year with it. And it's going to look a little different. Imagine you're going through these hard times and you're looking at social media and you feel like, man, I'm failing. Or you're going through these hard times and now you're financially strapped and you're looking at social media. I can't buy my kids 50 gifts this year. I just can't. I'm going through chemo or I'm going through divorce or, yeah, all of that ties in together. So I'm glad you brought up grief. I have a friend who experienced a loss around the holidays between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And one thing that she did that was really helpful was the following year spent one day honoring the person who passed, doing what they would have loved for them to do. Their loved one that passed really liked the beach, and so she spent the day at the beach, going to her favorite restaurant, and it was a really sweet
Nice.
little moment to honor them. But then said, okay, I'm going to create new traditions. I'm going to do something different than what we used to do together. And it was a great way for her to honor the friend or the loved one that passed away, but say, okay, we've got to move forward. So that may be something that could help some listeners if they're struggling with loss and grief.
I think so. And I think it's so important in our job as counselors to really honor clients in our life, right? Be able to advocate for ourselves and identify what we need, which is why I'm so glad that you brought up that third column, which is values.
Mm-hmm.
What do you value right now? Right now, you may only have so much bandwidth because you are grieving or you've lost a job or you're just struggling
Yeah.
or there's an illness. And so looking at that value and really thinking about what you need, which is so hard to do. In our next episode on the holidays, we're talking about family expectations and conflict.
Yeah.
And that can be really hard to do, to say to a family, I'm not going to be there this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've got a little mini series here, and I think it's a good one.
I do too. So thanks for bringing that up, looking at what do we feel pressured to do? What do we really want to be present for? Like for me, it's Christmas Eve service.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really going to be present for Christmas Eve service. I may not be able to do all the Advent activities. I'm going to try to do some. We're going to go to Christmas Eve service. And
Well, maybe that can be your little heart connection thing that you do that you just were talking about. I'm going to make sure on Christmas Eve, because since you're hosting and you're hosting our company party, you're hosting your family, I mean, you're hosting a lot. Have that little moment on New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve. Let's not go to New Year's Eve yet, Sarah.
we can. We
No,
can. We can
not
talk
yet.
about that.
Yeah.
I like that. And I like the thought of being present. So
Yeah.
that's going to be one of my words for sure. I want to hear from you guys, and I want to invite our listeners to think of maybe it's their values. What are you valuing right now?
Mm-hmm.
Really think of just 2 to 3 words that might be able to be a holiday heart focus.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are in the store, and I don't know about you, but I see it in the store and I really need it and it's double the price. I don't really need it though. And if I'm thinking about presents, ooh, Sarah, presents over presents, the gifts.
Oh, yeah. Being present.
Being present.
As in
I like
presence.
this. Present.
Being present over presents.
I love it. Being present over presents. Ooh, and we have hand motions for it.
Well,
Being present.
You know what? I did 4
Over
years
presents.
of sign language, and
Oh, you did?
that's not accurate sign language there, by the way. But I think that's why I'm a hand talker.
I like it. Well, that'd be kind of fun to get the sign language for that. I don't have it, but
I don't have it either. It's
That
not
might-
like riding a bike. You know, you
No.
do forget it if you don't use it.
we could look it up.
Yeah.
I like that. That's kind of where I'm going. I want to hear from y'all. Like,
I love it.
what values do you have for the holidays? If you were to pick out 2 or 3 words, and I want our listeners to do that, just start thinking about 2 or 3 words. I mean, maybe this is your first year with grandchildren. Maybe this is your first year with a child. Maybe you've gone through a miscarriage. I mean, the holidays, when we see this stuff on social media, we have to remember not everybody is in that space.
Not everyone is in that space.
And if we're not in that space, 1, let's not compare ourselves.
Yeah.
And then 2, let's think about being
Mhm.
present. What are your thoughts, Olivia?
Do you have anything in mind? I've got
Yeah.
a couple things brewing, but I may need to
don't-
let it brew a bit.
I don't really know how to narrow this down into a few words, but maybe we'll get there by the end of it. But I think, the holidays, there's always so much going on in terms of like, there's always gatherings and celebrations and parties with friends and family. And I think through all of that, I feel a lot of pressure to be on all the time and to like be cheery and happy. And like, there's no space for any like of life's problems to kind of bleed into that. So I feel like I think I need to be better about like letting myself feel everything and also not that doesn't make me the Grinch, Like I'm
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
still there are still problems that go on even throughout all of the holidays, and that's okay. And also I think on the flip side of that, like I think we should all be kind of carrying over the holiday cheer and like the gratitude and the community that we feel into like the whole year. Like you don't need a holiday to see your friends and family. You can
So
do that
true.
whenever. You don't have to put all of that pressure in the like 1 or 2 month time period.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm always trying to find an excuse to get my friends together throughout the whole year and we do a ton of like dinner parties and things. So I feel like making more opportunities for connection helps lessen the pressure of the holidays for me.
Oh, I love that.
I feel like that ties into presence over presence too.
I think
Like
so.
being present. When you talked about your feelings and like if you're not cheery, then that means you're not the Grinch, which I wonder, is there some family pressure there? Like if you're kind of mopey, they're like, geez, get in the holiday
because
spirit.
it's like sometimes I only see certain family members for like 1 or 2 days during the holidays. So it's like,
so they're like, what's
if
wrong
something
if
else
you're not smiling?
happens, and it's like the only day a year I see this person, I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, that ties in perfectly with what we're talking about. Because like we
It really
said,
does.
life doesn't stop during the holidays. You still can have a bad, crummy day. And what comes to mind for me is you're responsible for your feelings and letting family know you're not responsible for my feelings. I'm having a bad day, but you don't need to worry about me. I've got it. I'm okay. It can be
And I love what we do with feelings as counselors, Sarah, and you and I talk about this all the time. We love feelings, love the feeling wheel. Feelings are very important. And there's 2 words, really 3, that go so well with feelings. Right now, I am feeling.
Man, those 2 words are so powerful.
So
I use
powerful.
them all the time, and I've stolen it from you.
I love it.
Because you will say it just in conversation with me. No, right now, blah, 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 blah. And it just gives you permission to be okay with the season because it's just right now. So right now, I'm feeling a little grouchy, but I'm going to go have some eggnog and then I'll be better.
Yes. And I add the and. Right now, I am feeling. However you're feeling, I encourage people to find 3 feeling words, not just sad. Go ahead and look. Are you frustrated? Are you angry? Are you lonely? Are you tired? Right now, I am feeling, because if you haven't seen Inside Out, we love that movie.
It's a great movie.
Go see it. Feelings are not good or bad. They're not right or wrong. And it's a fact we feel the way we feel when we feel it. It's not a final fact. We're not going to feel that way forever. So my kids don't always like it when I'm like, hey, I'm sorry you can't go have a night with your friends. We've got this family obligation or family choice, really, because it's not an obligation. And I can say, I get it. Right now you're mad at me and I love you. So right now I am feeling, and I can take a walk, or I can move past this. I can go get eggnog, like you said.
Yeah, just go get a little spicy. Go get a little saucy with the eggnog.
You get a little sauce.
I've written down presence over presence, and feelings are not final facts.
I love that. And that,
because those can be little mantras that we and our listeners can use to kind of shake it off, right? Like, okay, I'm going to choose presence over presence right now because this is a moment that deserves that.
Yes.
And feelings are not final facts. I feel this right now, but we're going to get through it. This is going to be great too. The feelings are not final facts to talk about in our next episode with the family conflict.
I think so. I love that so much. So sounds like we've kind of got our mantra.
Yeah.
Presence over presence.
Yeah.
I like it. Or you could use feelings are not final facts. I'm going to throw one more thing in there that really helps when we're dealing with stuff like that, which we'll probably talk about in the next episode too, which is stop shitting all over yourself and others, which is actually the very first episode of This Might Be Triggering. That's really helpful in the holidays because we look at those images. Oh, I should have done this to my home. I should have gotten this together more. I should.
That does pair well with the social media.
It does.
Things that we're talking about because the should can get you.
And what we want our listeners and ourselves to do is it's really simple because it's just a cognitive distortion. It's unhelpful thinking styles. I really am on a campaign to get the word should out of our language because should is connected to shame. Anytime you're shoulding, saying should, I should do this, I should do that, that's the internal critic. And anytime you're saying it to someone else, my spouse or partner or mother or father or children, should, that's your external critic. And it's just shame. And if we change that word to could, I could have decorated my house earlier. And then we add the word and.
Which I'm still working on. I'm big on butts.
You're big on, big on the
I
butts.
say butt all the time. Anyways. Okay,
That is
sorry.
so funny. No, that's
I
good.
could have decorated earlier.
I could have decorated.
Yeah.
It helps with the finances too, because another word that's closely connected to should is need. Oh, I need to do this. You need to do that.
Need. That's anxiety driven right there.
Yeah.
Saying, I need to. It's like, well, hold on. Do we need to do that?
And it's really connected to should too. There's a lot of shame that you can
I feel
put
like
in there.
I feel that a good kind of indicator of it's time to get off the social media. It's time to unplug literally the holiday machine, this device.
Yeah.
Is when you start thinking I should and I need. While you're looking at it, it's like, okay, this is not growth mindset. This is just not healthy for me. I've got to disconnect and just be present in my family.
Way to bring it all home. That's
right.
awesome.
I kind of put a bow on that.
Put a bow on
completely by accident.
It's so good. I love that. So I'm just going to repeat what I heard you say. When we are on social media or scrolling, whatever it is, I'm not going to use the right lingo. And we start thinking, I need to do something or I should be doing something. That's a sign to get off.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yep.
And I know we both put a plug in this. Please, 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 listeners, create intentional, unplugged time where your phone is off. Dinner table, no phones. Find a dinner table. A lot of people don't find time for that anymore. Have time where your phone is off. Put it up.
Yeah. I know because of the work that we do, I think that we are given a lens into what the phone and social media can really do to relationships and just to people. But not everybody has that lens. And so I think it's worth sharing that social media and having that device open, just scrolling whenever it's family time or these missed opportunities is just really, it's really creating a huge divide in families and in relationships. In couples and in father-children relationships, mother-children relationships, whole family dynamics. It's creating. I know you're seeing it too. It's a real issue.
Epidemic.
It's an epidemic, absolutely.
Isolation.
Because these apps and things know exactly what they're doing, right?
Absolutely.
They love getting those, providing those dopamine hits for us, and it can be very addicting. Oh yeah, they know exactly what they're doing.
And they're making plenty of money on that.
The more money they're making, you always follow the dollar signs, and so it's worth it to disconnect and just engage with your family. And this is not a place of. I don't want anyone to feel shame or guilt. I'm not saying that you should do it.
No, we want you to do it.
Yeah, it's just a really good,
it's a good, healthy practice.
It's a good, healthy practice, and let your kids know what it feels like to disconnect. And when they disconnect, if they're having these big tantrums or these big meltdowns, that's an indicator that, okay, there's something there. They're really relying on that. And so that's, that's for me, an indicator for sure. We need to have like a no device day or a cutoff time and figuring that out. So.
And the research is really clear, and we see you. We know it's hard, and we appreciate that, and we can do hard things.
We can do hard things.
Question, Olivia, what do you think about our holiday heart focus?
I think it's good to have, like, kind of making those mantras that y'all made and having that to kind of ground you through the holidays and kind of having moments of being intentional with yourself and reflecting throughout the holiday seasons. I feel like that's a good opportunity to say your mantras again, whatever it is. Because I think people need everyone has a different scenario. They need different mantras, but yeah.
I love it. And honoring yourself, knowing what you need and want, thinking of those values. And then the finances. I'm just going to throw this out there. You and I both know this. One of the top 3 things that couples argue about. And so it is worth connecting over the finances and remembering that even the feedback that we got from our listeners, there's not anyone who talked about the gift being the most meaningful thing. Not anyone. And so if you're looking at finances and it's a problem, Really think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Find if you've got all the families, because, some siblings in your family might have no problem buying everybody a gift. If you know another family member's going to have trouble with that, be kind. Create the gift exchange game, and you're not buying a gift for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else
and
you
there's
want to
so
add?
many variations of the gift exchange
There
game,
are.
I
You can do
mean,
themes.
you can do themes. You can do like a $10 gift card to a fast food restaurant. Something that makes sure to not create any place of shame or embarrassment for maybe someone who's struggling right now. Not
Exactly.
struggling forever. Maybe this is just a season for them. So
Yeah. And it takes communication and connection. We're not doing it when we're angry. We're sitting down, we're looking at our finances. If we have someone else that we talk to about budgeting, a spouse, a family member, we're talking to them about that.
Yeah.
And we're coming up with solutions, and we're remembering our holiday heart focus. For us, presence over presence, which I love. And then we're also thinking about those values and remembering that out of all the people we talked to, the gift was not the thing. When they look back at the most meaningful Christmases, it's not the gift.
Yeah, I want to invite listeners to, one, think about your Christmas memories. What stands out to you? I think some may say, "Oh, this one gift, that I really want."
Sure.
I think of the Christmas Story, the Red Rider,
Oh, yeah.
BB gun,
Yes.
or whatever it is, right?
Yes.
That one
Good point.
gift,
Good point. Right.
That may come up, but overall, like, what is the overarching theme of your memories and what was important? It's probably going to be the time spent. And then I want to also encourage listeners, ask your kids. I've had this conversation with my kids, and they agree that sometimes, because we have a very extended family, we see this person for this day, and by the time Christmas comes, it's like we've already had Christmas 4 times.
Right.
And they themselves have shared it can be a little much sometimes.
Oh,
and
wow.
we prefer the experiences as a gift over the more gifts. And so which is a very interesting, and I know kind of unique dynamic that we have there. Not everyone can share that experience, but talk to your kids about it. See what they think. See what their memories are, if it's this one particular gift or if it's time together. And I bet it's going to be time together.
And if you've got little ones, elementary school and younger, 4th grade and younger, certainly toddlers, they're not going to remember all of this.
No.
We're going to have pictures.
They're not going to remember
remember
y'all.
The perfect
For
gift.
real.
They're not going to remember the perfect gift.
They're not going to remember. I remember Parker's first Christmas. I think I felt so much pressure to put, make it look like there was a good amount of gifts under the tree. That boy is 15 and does not remember one of those gifts.
So true.
So don't hurt yourself over making sure their first, second, third, fourth Christmas is.
And especially if you're going to be stressed out and cranky as mom.
Right?
We always remember, when you think about the people you love in your life, it's never about the lesson. I learned this when I started volunteering in youth ministry. I went to this big thing and they were like, look, it's never about the lesson you've prepared. It's always about how you make them feel. Do they feel welcomed? Do they feel loved? Are they getting to know other people? And that's so true. It's always about how we make people feel. And if we're running around bonkers and we're stressed out, nobody's going to feel good about that.
No.
So, presence
over present.
Presence over presence. I love this. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Olivia.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for joining us on This Might Be Triggering. We hope today's episode helped you feel seen and reminded you that you're not alone. If something resonated, share it with a friend, leave a review, or reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
Stay connected with us at mentalhealthcounselinggroup.com or on Instagram at This Might Be Triggering.
And don't forget to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Keep empowering your wellness one self at a time.
And together we can change the world one relationship at a time.
This podcast is for educational purposes only. It is not therapy, does not create a therapeutic relationship, and should not replace professional mental health care. By listening, you agree not to use this podcast as medical or mental health advice or as a replacement for therapy. If you need support, please reach out to a licensed provider in your area. If you're in crisis, call or text 988 in the U.S. or contact local emergency services.